Mike, first name, last name is Paul, P-A-U-L.
And title?
I'm a captain with the Superstition Fire and Medical District.
All right, Mike, anytime these monsoons come in, you hear flash flood warning. There's a couple areas here in the valley that need to be looked out for. This is one of them.
Correct. We have a lot of those areas throughout, naturally, the entire state. But we have a couple of dangerous areas right here. One of them is Weeks Wash, this wash. Yeah, it happens every year.
This is designed for this. I mean, when we see this water here and you see this is where the water's supposed to run off through here. That's why you have the signs posted, please do not cross when flooded. But yet, it seems like they put you guys at risk to turn around and have to deal with this.
Correct. But some of these come on so sudden. I did speak with the victim this morning. She said it was very slow moving when she drove through it, and all of a sudden it was just there on her. So I do realize that they hit fast at times. And this was the case this morning here.
Yeah, and when they do hit fast like this, I mean, this is when you really have to pay attention to these areas, right? You guys have a trained crew that come out here, and even for them, it's kind of dangerous.
Correct. There is dangers with any of the rescues that we do. They're trained in it. We take all the precautions we can. We have people downstream. We have people up monitoring upstream from the incident, make sure there's no large debris. As you guys know, trees and small sheds and you name it, it comes washing down these washes. So
yeah, she had mentioned that she was on 911 and they told her stay in the car, do not get out. Why is that so important?
The car's heavier. It's going to stay put a lot longer than if you were to step out and get washed down. It's easier for us to do a rescue. We know where you're at that point. There's no chance of you getting caught. If you're swept down, you can be caught on strainers, you name it. We don't know what's down these washes, barbed wire fences, wires. So we'd like them to stay put, and then we know where our victims are at, and we'll figure out a rescue from there.
The great news is when you guys come into a situation like this, you have 2 to 3 different plans. This one worked on the first one. Tell me about that.
Correct. We did actually have 2 plans in place. We had units on both sides of the wash, TRT techs evaluating the situation from both sides of the wash. We had a ladder truck in place if we needed. The techs on this side saw a quick rescue where they set up the modified V or a wedge and were able to walk out to the patient and put them in a flotation device and bring them back to the dry ground.
We saw the patient was okay once you got her out. Any on her condition other than just be shaken up from being stranded here in the middle of this road?
No, shaken up was it. She seems to be very calm now.
What would you say in a situation like this for motorists who are watching this here? You know, it's a lesson learned when you kind of see what's going on here, because you don't know, even though you have a 4x4 or what you have, it's just best to stay out of these waters.
Correct. You can tell by the water behind us right now that you can't see in there. These things will come through so fast, they'll wash the entire road out from underneath. You can drive into it and all of a sudden you're 4 or 5 feet deep without knowing. So stay out of them. The signs are there for a reason. Some people make mistakes, I get that, but I'd stay out of them.
Let's talk about this real quick and just answer to Gibby. Gibby was saying earlier he just drove through here a couple inches, and then within a minute or 2 minutes later, instantly we're talking a rescue.
Correct. That's why they call them flash floods. They're not there, and then all of a sudden there's a wall of water coming at you. Everybody has seen the things that have happened up in the Payson area. It can happen down here just as quick.
Okay, and then let's talk about for people who actually get stuck in this, and then they see fire crews roll up. They see fire crews kind of standing around, but you guys are actually assessing things. And of course, as somebody that's going to be trapped in something like that, they're panicking, thinking they're not going to rescue me. And the best thing for them to do is stay in that car until you guys make contact with them.
That's correct. We want the victims to stay in their vehicle. It may look like from their vantage point that not a lot's happening, but a lot is happening. So we were able to contact her by cell phone, let her know that, hey, what we're doing is we're coming up with a plan. Crews are assembling right now. We're going to come get you. Try and remain calm. I can understand from her viewpoint that there's all these rescue people around. It doesn't appear that there's anything happening, but we assess the situation. We come up with the right plan, and that's for the safety of everybody, our crews as well as the victim.
Because we've seen situations before where people actually got out of the car, even though fire crews are telling them, don't get out, don't get out. best thing for you to do is stay in there and maintain contact with fire.
Correct. When they call 911, one of the first things the 911 operator does is ask for the phone number they're calling from, so we have that on record. One of our safety officers was able to establish contact with her as we were coming up with a plan and communicated the entire time with her. She knew we were there, and we're going to rescue her sooner than later.
Any contact with, as the day progresses, with anybody that's going to be monitoring these waterways coming down?
The city right now, I've noticed they've got their vehicles, they're out all over the city right now, setting signs up on some of our major washes. The police department obviously has left this scene and gone out and patrolling the dangerous areas as well.
Are they keeping you abreast as to whether or not it may crest even higher yet, or?
I haven't been in contact with any of them, but they do update our alarm rooms through AJPD.
And let's talk about that. This may be a city thing, but and again, answer to Gibby. Sometimes city crews, I mean, they're right on top of these flooding areas, and sometimes these waters come down faster before they can even get in place to put those barricades. So it's still up to that driver to realize it may look like an inch of water, but you don't know what's underneath it.
That's correct. We do have to put some responsibility on drivers. Some people are new to the area. They don't understand flash flooding, but it's still going to happen. We see it every year.